the middle, might get through. Does! Base hit! Braves win! Austin Riley comes through with the winner.
Tonight, Austin Riley and the Braves wrap up for another series against the Milwaukee Brewers, live from Truist Park in Atlanta.
Braves coverage begins following the afternoon underdogs at 6. First pitch, 6:20. Your home for the Braves, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
WVLQ Point St. Joe, WGSX powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water! I stay hot tub! Stay very hot! Stay hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub! I'm gonna make it wet! Stay hot tub! Rubber dub in the hot tub! Rubber dub with me! Should I get in the hot tub?
Yeah!
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah!
Should I get in the hot tub?
Yeah!
Will it make me wet?
Yeah!
Well!
And welcome, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jason Kovaleski, Jim Bob Brandt in here. I told everybody yesterday we had a young man that stopped me at a restaurant. I saw David. He owns the place, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill.
Oh, nice.
And we're having a great time. We're leaving. We bought by this pretty big guy, pretty good sized guy. We walked by him, and give me a second. I'm trying to find his name. And he walks right by me, and we keep on going, and all of a sudden I hear, James Hale. I turn back around.
You thought it was a bill collector, didn't you?
I didn't know what was going on. That kind of scared me. I always try to act like I'm tough, but I was really scared. And he goes, I listen to your show every day.
Nice.
I am a big Buckeye fan.
Oh, wow.
I said, oh, my God.
Good. There you go.
And he goes, I listen when you got the boys on there. And he goes, did you train Kovaleski up in radio? He's been trained up in radio, hasn't he? I said, yes, I've trained him now probably 9 years.
I learned how to sit and speak.
Yeah, I had to teach him how to
But he knew how to read before he came on.
Teach him how to pronounce words correctly.
Right.
And everything.
Tula.
Mike Burnside.
Sounds familiar.
Mike's listening to Dave. Anyway, I didn't realize we have a lot of Big Ten people down here, the Navy bases throughout the Panhandle of Florida.
Oh, for real, yeah.
So we got a lot of Big Ten, a lot of Michigan people.
Yeah.
I get hit up about Michigan. And some think I'm funny what we do to Michigan Eddie, and other people don't like it.
Oh, we love Michigan Eddie, but
I just say get over it. Anyway, you won't like us today, Michigan fans. I believe that. Before we get into that, what's the latest on the boxing, the woke boxing Olympics? Did we have two men fighting each other that say they're women or what? I heard I don't know. I haven't watched any of it. So.
I don't know what to believe at this point. I mean, the details that are coming out now is this was born a woman, but she had some, genetic disorder that caused her to have high levels of testosterone. So in reality, that should have disqualified her anyway because it gives her a huge advantage. I mean, but more importantly than that, the size difference was just what I laughed at. It was like two completely, 3 different weight classes apart. I mean, it was like a big man or woman hitting on a little girl almost. It was just not what I wanted to watch as far as athletics or entertainment at all. So whatever you want to believe, whether it was a man or a woman or a woman that, had high levels of testosterone, it's just more controversy, more, distraction. So I didn't really pay much attention. I'm concentrating on the sports.
Was it just one of them, or were there two?
No, I think
I heard
two.
there were 2 of them.
I think they're fighting for the gold medal.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Taiwan. I think it was Algeria or something like that.
The one from Taiwan looks like a dude. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, no question.
I mean, I'm gonna offend a lot of people saying that, but the muscle definition, the leanness, you don't see that in a female very often unless they're taking enhancements.
Why do we get worried about offending people? I know you don't. I don't.
Well, I just said it.
We should be able to say what we want. They say what they want.
We've kind of shifted in the country to we have to cater to everybody's feelings versus, sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. I mean, those things were things to live by. If somebody can say something to you, but unless you allow it to affect you, it shouldn't mean anything to you. If it's not somebody that you care about or somebody that you know very well, you shouldn't really pay attention to what people outside say. That's what's wrong with Twitter and Facebook and all this other stuff. You get to hear the outliers of society, talking about every single aspect and stuff they're not educated on. So you kind of have to suffer through some of these takes.
Did you, getting off subject, did you lose any money in the stock market?
No, I learned my lesson 5 years ago.
There's only 134 billion lost. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can.
134 billion.
I've been telling everybody this. I mean, there was a bubble there. I mean, we were headed for a recession. I
Wish
mean,
you told me to take mine out when you did yours.
high taxes, high interest rates, high cost of everything. It was inevitable. I mean, the problem is we have nobody in Washington that's trying to fix the problem. They're just enhancing it.
I disagree. I disagree totally. I think the mafia's there.
Well, I think they did a better job, especially with
No,
the
they would do a better job.
I know. They did a way better job. At least they were stealing for people in the United States. Now we're just funneling money outside the country, and we're just printing money.
The reason I brought that up, most of these big-time boosters, NIL guys, have a lot of their money in the stock market. And I'm sure they took a beating also. And we always say, can they keep doing this NIL deals? I don't know. I would not give my money away to go buy players. I just wouldn't do it.
You know, hey, and Jason, you've talked about this before, and I think this is going to be a long-range issue. Let's say you're one of these guys who got all this ready cash just to throw at people.
Right.
But what, like you, and I never really thought about it, but you said it more than once. What's the return on their investment? What do they get back for that?
Nothing.
Stick their chests out.
All they get back is,
Season
hey,
tickets.
you now get to sit in one seat closer in the loge to the front window so you can see the game better. What do you get? Nothing. You don't get a darn thing.
Usually, if you invest your money, build a business, say you put $1 million in, you expect to get $3 or $4 million back when you sell the business, or you profit from it. There's no profit being made.
Right.
These kids are just being paid to come, and they're being paid before they actually have name, image, or likeness, recognition.
They don't even know. You know, Ohio State's spent $1 bazillion.
For sure.
But like you say, they don't know that's what money spent wisely. Those guys could.
Look at the guy in Miami. He's just a super fan with a lot of money, and he's buying recruits left and right. I mean, he's getting no return on that. I mean,
they go to the country club and they tell everybody, "Hey, you see, that's my boy.
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy."
And let's be honest, it's been happening for decades. I mean, it's just now legal. So.
No, I know, but
and I don't mean everybody been doing it, but because some people are policed differently, unfortunately.
But to this extreme, to this amount of money,
it's
I
crazy.
don't think so.
When you say, "Hey, you can do whatever you want,"
you
know, we're not going to punish you after the Tennessee ruling. I don't think the NCAA had the stomach to go after anybody else. So it's the wild, wild west, and it's going to go to the highest bidder. That's why I follow recruiting, but it's really hard to follow it now because until the last bid's in, you don't have any idea.
Right.
Relationships mean nothing in this day and age. Development means nothing. You can see that with Oregon. Phil Knight basically told Dan Lanning, "Hey, you got an open check. I want a national championship before I die." He's 86 years old, and they've landed probably the top three.
And I believe putting the spotlight on Ohio State Buckeyes, I believe the powers to be get met up with Day and say, go get the coaches you want, go get the players you want, get it done.
1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
You have all this money, you have
question.
all these resources, and you're going to sit there after the NCAA says you go do whatever you want and not do it. And that's my problem with that today. There's no regulation. There's no.
And if you're in that situation, and not all programs are created equal, and not everyone has the financial ability to do what Ohio State and Oregon are doing, but if you do have the resources to do that, you're crazy not to.
Absolutely.
You're crazy not to. It's legal. It's not like you're breaking any rules.
Right.
I mean,
it's not like you're stealing signs.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Wildcat, can you turn
almost 3 years?
Can you turn the light on in there? I can't see the clock.
It is on, Coach. Are you all right?
I can't barely see it either. You got two old farts out here.
I can bang on it with a stick.
Oh, it's not working.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, it's kind of working, but it's kind of not working.
Yeah, you changed that bulb, but okay.
Get right on that.
Between break, we'll let Jason pick you up, bench press you up there. Hey, we would encourage all of you, early voting's getting ready to start. Go vote, especially the Bay District School. Everything's going on there. I got this grades, our high schools that we cover athletically. This is how they did in the academic world. And pretty good. Bay High School was a C. Could have been worse. Could have been better. Rutherford was a C. Mosley was a B.
There you go.
Bozeman, an A. Good job, Bozeman. Bozeman High School, an A. Arnold High School, a B. Good job, Arnold. Good job, Arnold. So, and I was told, I don't know, rumor, how important it is to get the right people making the right decisions, stuff like that. There's some kind of book that was somehow allowed in the one of the libraries, whatever, some dragon or something, and then all of a sudden you want to change his skin. You know? I mean, this is crap, man. This is like planting seeds in young minds.
For sure, 100%.
Trying this woke
exactly what
crap.
How do you think we got here?
Yeah, exactly.
And people are like, "Oh, that's not what that's about." And they'll yell at you, call you down, and shout you down. 100% it is what it's about. Why else would they do it?
If it's true, I'm shocked in Bay County we allowed anything like that. That really bothers me. I got you got kids coming up through it. I got 3 grandkids getting ready to go through it, and I hope and pray to God our school board members won't allow any of that woke BS in our libraries.
The reality is parents have little control over what their kids learn in school. I mean, we've had people nationally that have been listed as domestic terrorists for going and questioning their school board and some of the stuff they allow in classes. So. It's just an upside-down world. It's the craziest thing. You can
be careful who you're voting for.
Oh, for sure, 100%. It's super important at this point. I mean, you have to study and make sure, and don't just say, "Oh, he's a Republican, I'm voting for him," or "He's a Democrat." Now,
find out. Do your research.
I
don't want to say
ballots,
that, but
do your
research
today, right?
Yeah.
And make sure they care about athletics, because that's the last place they get this discipline that they need is in athletics.
Athletics school.
And our football players right now have been out in this heat working extremely hard with the coaches. And has school actually started yet? No, it has not. I think it's next week. Yeah, that's right. It's on Mariah's birthday, August 12th. I believe they start school. Teachers are back working right now. Our great superintendent met with every single one of them. I think that's pretty good.
God bless them, because that's a thankless job right now.
Well, they're not getting paid anything. No. Nobody, God, you're right. God bless the teachers. People don't realize what a tough job that is.
It's terrible now.
And this thing, Jim, I give him a lot of credit. We would meet all the time, especially in Cape Coral up here at Arnold. Then he had history. He wasn't teaching sometimes you were.
Yeah.
But
most of the time
when it was history. That's totally different. You got all these papers to grade.
Sure.
You got all these lesson plans to do. Dennis Bush was doing science. Scott Shepard, science. I mean, I take my hat off the coaches that teach.
Did you ever hear about James Hale's driver's ed experience when he was a driver's ed teacher at Cape Coral High School? How many times did you run off the road and going?
Oh, this has got to be a good story.
I tell you what, driver's ed.
He did driver's ed.
Thank God we had the brakes on both sides of the car.
I would never do driver's ed.
Some beautiful little lady, bless her heart, little girl. She never. Why would your parents not teach them to drive? They leave it up to us to do it.
Right.
Get out there and teach them. We went up through a yard, almost hit a house. I mean, it was unbelievable. I went to Marion. Was Marionette or Jim? One of them were there. Marionette or Dave was there. I can't remember. I said,
might have been Crowell.
I'll do anything. I'm not doing this. I don't want to give me all weightlifting, or I got to get another job. I said, I can't do this.
No wonder your hair's so white.
They laughed. And Humble, the guy at North Fort Myers. Humble at North Fort Myers.
Humble, there's no B.
I don't care. Don't correct.
Humble pie.
Anyway, he goes up to a store, to a 7-Eleven, whatever, in North Fort Myers. He went in to go get some chewing tobacco and a drink and something to eat, which you're not supposed to do. And they get back in the car, and he had the person drive out. Well, something happened. It wouldn't go. And it was in drive. It wouldn't go because it's hitting the curb. She kind of floored it. Boom! Went right through the plate glass.
What are y'all doing down there? These kids?
He got in a little bit of trouble. Why were y'all parked there? What
he got in trouble.
Well, he was getting his tobacco.
Yeah, Coach Hummel was getting his chew. Yeah.
What about Coach Wynn?
Yeah, Coach Wynn.
I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, I don't either. James Hale did driver's ed, I think, for 1 year, or maybe one semester. One semester. Yeah.
Scott did it. Scott
Shepard did it for a long time. He was really good.
That stuff scares me.
They pay you extra.
I got to give you credit.
I can't see you. No, I can't see you.
Okay.
I cannot see you. I don't
they pay you extra for being a driver's ed teacher?
No. It's just like I had all weightlifting and one driver's ed, and I said I did. I remember going and saying,
did you do math 1 year too?
First year there. You know why, Chucky?
That's funnier than driver's ed.
I fired her husband coached the
better that than English.
He coached the offensive line. I fired him. And she was in charge of curriculum. The next thing I know, she has me in a math class.
He's teaching physics.
That's a true story. Is that not a true story?
No, that is true.
So I go to Dave Carruthers, and I said, do you know they put me in math? He goes, what? So he walked down to her. I said, no, that's not going to happen. He's not certified in math, and he's not going to be in math. So, and it was so funny. She actually got moved out of there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, out of the school. So
Fire with fire.
That was an ongoing battle.
yeah. I won that one. All right, let's talk about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Man, I'm hearing so many great things, people talking about you. What's the best way to get up with you, and what's going on down there?
You can come on 23rd Street. We're in the Del Coronado Village. We got our InBody 570 free sample bar, so you can try products. We are really doing really well this part of the year right now. We got a lot of high school kids coming in, sign up for meal plans. We're working with a lot of athletes, a little older athletes, and we're working with a lot of people that just want to lose a couple pounds. We're not just an athletic store. We have a lot of good products like our greens, our good mornings, and stuff like that. Our anti-aging products are really some of our top products in the store. So come down, just utilize the free sample bar, try out some of the greens, the vitamins, the proteins that we have. They're really good for mom, dad, and the athletes. So, and we're also located in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods, and we have our InBody. We have certified sports nutritionists on staff. Carly's out there. She's doing a great job. Darlene's back. You've met Darlene. She does wonderful.
Great lady. I saw her
great
down
physique.
360.
46 years old. Looks like she's 25. So
no doubt.
She knows what she's doing when she comes to meal
She
plans.
always flirts with me.
Yeah. So if you want to get your son or daughter a little edge, if they're an athlete, just come down and see us on 23rd Street or in Pier Park North.
You got a text. If you get a chance, look at that real quick. Also, we're one day away from that world-famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. Black beans and rice and quesadilla is the special day down there. It's outstanding. Go check, and it's honestly really healthy for you. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. Don't forget about South Oak, Title and Closing, and Chuck Tucker. All real estate, all the elite real estate. Mark Coward down 38, multi-million-dollar homes. They all use South Oak, Title and Closing. No mistakes, done correct the first time. When you get big-time money like that, it's got to be right. That's why you use Chuck Tucker. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning. They do an incredible job. Anytime, day or night, they're there for you. If it breaks down, give them a call. They'll be there quickly. They'll solve all problems. Great to have that Cajun place back. Goodness gracious. If you're LSU or Saints fans, that's where you need to be during their games. If they score a touchdown, you get a free Jell-O shot. Yes, I said it. Yeah, can't beat it. $5 Miller Lite pitchers. They got the best wings in Panama City Beach. That Cajun place right here on Thomas Drive. It is incredible. Charlie Corn's place, the good country cooking right there. Don't give me that finger. Don't give me that look. I can't hardly see you.
I got something important to say. Believe it or not.
We're not giving them away. I've already changed my mind. I'm taking them.
No. We are giving these. We're
I'm
giving
gonna
them
take
away
them.
today and Friday. When you're gone, we're giving away your tickets. You leave Friday, we're giving away your tickets.
All right, go ahead.
What tickets am I talking about? I'm talking about Atlanta Braves fans. It's our week of winning. And here on the Coach James Hale Show today at approximately 7:45, we're going to make you be caller number 10 at 215-6290. Caller number 10 at
Caller number what?
215. Number 0. I'm Lex Dixick. Caller number 10 at 215-6290. At we'll tell you when, at what time, which is about
Take his mason jar away from him.
7:45.
Was he in your math
We're
class?
going to give you.
Do you have Hale for
Shut
math?
up, Jim. This is hard enough. We're going to give you a chance to win not one, but 4 tickets.
4.
And I got
Is that
that
today? We're giving some today, right?
Yeah, today.
7:45.
4 tickets. The game is on August 24th against the Washington Nationals. So at 7:45, pay attention.
4 tickets.
4 tickets. And when I
What do you got to say? The chomp?
You got to say chop on. When I
Chop
say
on. You don't
Coach
say chop
James
on,
Hale
you don't
Show,
get it.
You are SOL. if you
Chomp
don't
on,
say
baby. Chomp on.
Chop on.
Jason
So,
actually thought of that. Chomp on. Good job, Jason. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3. Hey, it's Michigan. Are they in trouble? Will something happen to these cheaters? We'll let you know when we get back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
John Wilder, I know there are a couple of eulogies being offered today by you and your colleagues toward the Pac-12. I mean, now that it's gone, essentially, I mean, how big of a disaster have these last 2 commissioners been?
It would have been hard to script it any worse for the Pac-12.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze at 16 miles per hour out of the west and temps near 95. Tonight we will have clear skies and be quite warm at 82. Sunny tomorrow and a high 92. Mostly sunshine throughout the day with a chance of thunderstorms in the evening Thursday with a temp of 94. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Mike Atkinson. For the last 16 years, you've trusted my leadership at the Walton County Sheriff's Office. In that time, UCR crime rates have dropped 67%. That's no coincidence. You can count on me to serve with continued professionalism and provide the excellent hometown service you want. At our agency, excellence matters, as our law enforcement, fire rescue, and animal services are the first on scene. On Tuesday, August 20th, vote to re-elect Atkinson for Walton County Sheriff.
Paid for by Michael Atkinson Jr., Republican for Sheriff.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back, 104.3. What's it called again? The Chop?
Chop on.
Chop on. Chomp on.
The week of winning.
Chomp on is 7:45. Chomp on. You get 4 tickets. You're going to have a great time in Atlanta on us, on ESPN Northwest Florida. Good job, Randy. All right, let's talk about it. What is going on with the Michigan? It's the NCAA versus Michigan. I don't get it. If you're going to take away victories from FSU, Kentucky, and Penn State, and yet
Ohio State,
USC. Alabama, all the blue bloods have lost games, been taken away from us. They ripped our hearts out. And you talking about, and it might have been buying players or whatever, but you look what's going on at Michigan. They had people there during the dead period, I do believe. They cheated to get an advantage to win games. Knowingly they did it.
Destroyed
and
evidence.
Then lie about it.
Yeah.
And then you tell me they're not going to take away the victories of the national championship. What's going on in this world?
It's just an upside-down world.
What's going on with Central Michigan? That's the one I don't understand.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but this is kind of not a real long, but there's a connection. Central Michigan started practice last week. They fired, on their first day of practice, they fired their quarterback coach. And you say, why would they fire their quarterback coach?
First day of practice?
First day of practice.
Let me finish.
He's got a connection here.
First day of practice, okay? You don't normally fire your quarterback coach.
Anybody.
Anyone, yeah, when the season starts. Well, come to find out, the guy was an intern at the air quotes, the University of Michigan for 4 years with Jim Harbaugh. And because people have said, well, how the heck did Connor Stalions get on the sidelines at Central Michigan? What was his in? Who did he know? How did he access the sideline at Central Michigan versus Michigan State? Well, they didn't say it, but I got to believe it's the quarterback coach who just got whacked because he was an intern at the University of Michigan for 4 seasons.
And it's not a coincidence. Go back. This is 4 days before the NOA came out.
Right,
for Michigan.
exactly.
So,
exactly.
Right. So they have a tie there. That was their tie to Central Michigan.
McElwain didn't know this before he hired him?
I'm sure he knew who he was before.
That
He knew exactly. Come on. They check him out left and right.
Let me say this right here. There's no coach in any college program that doesn't know everybody that's on that sidelines. The attention to detail, you're not going to let some rogue guy come down and put a headset on and call offensive, defensive plays. I mean,
you have to have sideline passes.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
There's a procedure to get a sideline pass.
Yeah, there is.
So their whole theory now is Stalions was there to help Central Michigan. He was a freelancer. He worked for the Baltimore Ravens. There's ties with him with John Harbaugh.
Go back. He did help out Central Michigan also?
There's no evidence of him, like you saw in the Ohio State game, where he was talking to the coordinators and they were pointing.
He wasn't trying to help Central Michigan.
It didn't look like it, but that's their theory.
He was trying to help himself with Michigan by getting their glasses that photographed That's what he was doing.
He had glasses that were filming. He had a wig on. He was trying to be in disguise.
It had nothing to do with Central.
But their theory is to keep Michigan's coaches separate from knowing all this, is that he was a freelancer. He's working for multiple teams. We didn't know he was doing it there.
Okay.
So their whole angle is he was at Central Michigan helping Central Michigan coaches decipher Michigan State's plays for them, not for Michigan. And that's how they're trying to separate that guilt of they know what was going on at Michigan. The fact that they destroyed 68 text messages, destroyed hard drives, didn't cooperate with the investigation, all these guys left, is that not evidence enough that you knew? And the guy standing on your sidelines next to your coordinators calling the offense and defense.
Yeah.
Do we have to lower our IQ and believe that these coaches didn't know? Like, this is the dumbest stuff I've ever heard in my life. It's
Our
like
economy's great. It's number one in the world.
Again,
And
I got to lower my IQ to believe that.
And here's the thing, you talk about that Central Michigan connection. Let's say he was a rogue. Let's just go play the game, play the story.
Right.
Let's just say he's a rogue agent. Okay, he did it one time, but he didn't do it one time.
No.
He did 58 games.
58 games.
13 different teams.
That they know he paid for tickets.
Yeah, that he paid for. Now that raises a lot.
So that's 4 years, correct?
But let me ask you this:
2.5.
He makes what, 60,000, 70,000 a year?
But he had multiple people doing it for him. It wasn't just him doing it. I'll pay you. I'll pay Jason. You'll go do it for me.
All right, time out. I want to get this. How many years did it go back they've been doing this? I thought it was 4.
21, 22, part of 23.
But that's what they said. But they said it's 58 games, so that don't make sense. So he had to go to way more games.
You can have more than one game being the same weekend at the same time.
You can. That's my whole question.
You go see them. You go same weekend, but different.
But for them to say that he was just a rogue actor, you have to believe
ridiculous.
This guy had enough money to buy 58 multiple tickets, because they had 3 or 4 people going at a time to film, to record.
And to get them there.
And you're talking $300 to $400 a ticket. So multiply 300 times 58. You're talking almost $25,000 that this guy came out of pocket to just to be
I don't believe that.
on a $70,000.
That's not counting flights, and hotel rooms, and 3 meals a
equipment
day.
they were recording with.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I'll never forget. There was one game when the entire Michigan
That was against Ohio
defense,
State.
Yeah, it was.
It was against C.J.
Turn
Stroud.
and look at the sidelines, and you see them telling them what's going on, and they turn back ready to play. I've coached a long time. I know that they knew exactly what was going on.
And people, we coached, we played, we kind of have a little bit of insight on this. I coached defense for a long time. If you tell me, well, if it's run or pass, that's a good start.
Right.
That's not.
It's a real good start.
And you tell me the direction. I'm sorry, you have no shot.
Right.
You won't make it to the line of scrimmage. If I know 100%, Jason's running right there. He's going from where he's sitting right now. He's going to run to the door. I'm going to do something to cut you off before you ever get to that door, and you're never going to get there. And how does that help? Oh, are you kidding? Are you kidding?
There's a really good video with James Franklin. We talked about this a little bit off the air, that he's sitting there and he said we were in the 4th and 1. We were going to, we were in a 2 tight end, heavy package. We were going to run a tight end down the seam, and they're sitting in a base 4-3 cover 2. And we're like, what are they doing? You know what I'm saying? Because, obviously they think they're going to sell it for the run. So they didn't have any timeouts. Someone had to read the play, got stuffed because they knew what direction was coming to. Yeah. And then the next time they went back to the same play, because they had designed this play based on what Michigan's tendencies were, what they saw. Same thing, 4th and 1, 4th and less than 1. They were sitting in a cover, and they're just like, what's going on here? There's no way they can just identify this and sit in a base cover. Nobody's going to sit in a base cover 2 if it's 4th and 1. You're going to stack the defensive line. You're going to bring everybody up within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage, and you're going to try to stop the run.
You're definitely not going to play 2 safeties in that, for sure.
My question, James Franklin, what the hell are you doing? They should be checking off and checking with me and run a dang run.
Well, his excuse was that they didn't have a timeout, so they couldn't stop the clock to call another play. And they were already in their offense, so they had to go with it, and they got stopped on both of them. It's a really good video. You can go research it.
But he wasn't the only coach. They were coached, all these coaches talking about it.
I was going to say, I'm going to say it again. It wasn't just Ohio State.
No, that's a Michigan narrative.
It was all kind. There's 13 different teams.
Yeah. Everybody in the Big Ten but Michigan turned them in and had video evidence of them, because they were tipped off. TCU was the smartest out of all of them. Remember the semifinal game? Right. Michigan was a heavy favorite. They came in. NCAA said, hey, there's a lot of evidence that they're stealing signs. So what TCU did versus what other teams did, they didn't just change their signs. They used dummy signs. So the signs they thought they were getting were the exact opposite. And they beat Michigan in the semifinal game with not even one 4-star guy on the entire roster. And you see what Georgia did to them the next week.
We got to do FSU next, and then we'll come back to this after FSU. If you want to learn more about this, I'm trying to interesting what Netflix on August 20th, what their spin's going to be on this.
Spin is the key word there.
I think they're going to actually go back and add to it. I thought I saw something like that. But so the first one will be on August 20th when it comes out. And what punishment will Michigan get? If I'm another school in the Big Ten or anybody that's played Michigan, you would think you'd be raising Cain with the NCAA to do something. I said earlier about when all this was going on, I said I don't think they'll do anything. And Michigan has kind of changed his tune a little bit. I wish he'd call us because yesterday he said something was interesting. He said, they can't take it away from us.
Yeah, but he was also saying they never cheated. And now this is why I hate that they've been listening to these Michigan sites and stuff like that. Everybody in the country knew what was going on. I mean, there's video evidence. I mean, they were at every game. There were destroyed evidence. Nobody cooperated. I mean, that's where the guilty
Harbaugh
person.
wanted immunity.
All right, we got to take a break.
Yeah.
We got to take a break. Any Michigan fans want to call us in, give us your take. We'll see what you guys think about it. If you get any type of injury, call Dr. Mitchell. You listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Did a great job yesterday. The legendary doctor. He's been on the sidelines of Bay County for this will be his 25th year. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Great place. I tell you, we have a lot of Big Ten people go there. Great place to have a birthday party. They got the best happy hours anywhere. Buy one, get one free. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base. And one of Jason's favorite places and gyms, Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. They cater. They do a great job. If you're a principal here on the beach, you want to take care of your faculty, they'll bring it to you. They have a huge room in the back, the Lord Lake room in the back. You can have a birthday party, football banquet. It's huge. You can have great things there. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. Did I mention Troy Corrin's place on 15th Street? Did I mention them yet?
I don't think so.
Great country cooking. Their weekend specials are unbelievable. Go check it out. Linda Hinton and Charlie's had a restaurant since 1986. It's the best you can get anywhere. I'm telling you, it's outstanding. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 Chop. What does he say it was called? Chop.
We're going to do the Chop On at 7:45.
Chop
We're
On.
coming back with FSU next.
Chop On. FSU next. Chop On. FSU next. Chop On. FSU next. FSU next. Chop
I don't know
On.
if you see this one. I was watching
Chop
Buckeye
On.
Scoop.
Later.
Kirk Barton put this one on.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
Most people sign up for health insurance during the open enrollment period at the end of the year. But did you know you may qualify for a special enrollment period at any time during the year? Florida Health Connector can tell you if you're qualified for a zero premium plan.
Call Florida Health Connector today at 850-249-1010.
Florida Health Connector. We connect to blue.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
The Atlanta Braves are battling back in the division and keeping their sights set on the playoffs as the season heats up.
Bounce up the middle, might get through. Does! Base hit. Braves win. Austin Riley comes through with the winner.
Tonight, Austin Riley and the Braves ramp up for another series against the Milwaukee Brewers, live from Truist Park in Atlanta.
Braves coverage begins following the afternoon underdogs at 6. First pitch, 6:20. Your home for the Braves, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU updates brought by Newbies. 4, count them, 4 great location. 2 on Thomas Drive, 1 on Front Beach, and now the newest in St. Andrews. It is nice over there. Go check it out. Don't forget to watch all sporting events, Newbies 2 on the Curve. Get to the mothership. It's still the legendary Newbies. Love you, John. Love you, Charlotte. Great people. Always giving back to the community. Let's make sure we go and support them. Jim, what do you got for us today on FSU?
Well, it's getting to be that time when there's lists for everything. Too early this, too early that, too late, too early. There's lists for everything. Well, there's one with Florida State. They have the preseason watch list for awards for ones that pertain to Florida State. There's 8 of them. It's going to take me a minute to get through them all, but there's some good names. All right, the first one for the Walter Camp Award, which is the Player of the Year, quarterback DJ Uiagalelei is up for that one, as well as the Maxwell Award. Okay,
if he wins either one of them, they're going to go to the playoffs and make some noise.
For Lou Groza, for the best bet, not easy for me to say, best place kicker is Ryan Fitzgerald. The Ray Guy Award to Southern Miss alum. The Ray Guy Award for the best punter, Alex Mastromano. All right, so doing pretty good.
That's important.
Yeah. The Werfel Trophy, which doesn't really go to a player, it's more for community services, offensive lineman Maurice Smith. I mean, it's a pat in the back, attaboy kind of thing,
right.
But doesn't mean the guy can play. I don't know if the guy, I'm sure he can, but that's the Werfel Award. Now, this one does matter. That's a Thorpe Award for the best DB. They've had some good ones in the past. Obviously, Dion and the one that followed Dion and played for the
Jalen Ramsey.
No, before him.
Okay.
Played for the Dolphins.
Terrell Buckley,
yeah. I think he won it too. Nagurski Award for the best defensive player, defensive lineman Joshua Farmer. The Outland Trophy, which goes to the best interior lineman on offense and defense. They have one on each. Defensive line, they got Joshua Farmer. Offensive lineman, they have, I can't read my own writing, Darius Washington. And then for the Maxwell Award, they have DJ is up for that one too. And I was looking this up, and DJ has done pretty well statistically and record-wise. He was 22-6 at Clemson as a starter, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think he did that well, or I didn't think he started that long. But he's kind of like one of those guys that gets maligned. But if he has a good season, they're going to do very, very well.
It's the key to their entire team right there.
Yeah, he could be the difference one or the other. And then here's the next one, the next list. The coaches poll came out. This is from USA Today. I'm just going to give you the top 10 because that only applies to Florida State. I don't care for 11 to 25. All right, the usual suspects at the top. Number 1 they have is Georgia. No surprise. Number 2, Ohio State. No surprise. 3, Oregon. We talked about them a lot. I think they're kind of overrated, but maybe they know more than me. What do I know? All right, number 4 is Texas. 5, Alabama. 6, Ole Miss. That's kind of surprised they had them at 6.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. 7, this is a real surprise to me. Notre Dame at 7. I don't know. We'll see. 8 is Michigan. What we think about that should be obvious by now. I think that's a little rich for their blood this year. I think they're going to have a little distractions before that ever comes to them being 8th in the country.
Even so, with what they lost and the coaching staff they lost, I just don't see them.
Yeah, I don't either.
At 9-3, they should extend more and throw a parade for them if they do that.
I agree. And number 9 would be Penn State. And finally, at number 10 is Florida State in the coaches poll through USA Today. I should have done 11 and 12 because that would kind of give you an indication who they think the 12 teams are going to be.
Missouri and LSU.
All right, there you go. Missouri and LSU.
I know CBS Sports did a most overrated teams in the top 10, and of course, Florida
We're going to get to that.
Okay,
We're going to get to that.
We'll talk about that.
And who was it?
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
We all hold off
that.
so he can cover that, but it'll be funny. It'll rile some feathers, ruffle some
Kind of
feathers.
fits in what we're talking about right now.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is, like I said, this is the time of the year when everybody's up for awards and this, that, and the other. And there's always a lot of coach speak where coaches give press conferences and they talk for 15 minutes and don't say anything. Hey, we're working hard, this, that, and it's hot, just whatever.
And they're all doing it. You try to look at something to talk about.
Right.
You're not getting.
No, there's nothing.
I ain't mess with it.
Yeah,
No,
I don't worry about it.
The coach is going to keep everything really close to the vest
Oh,
at this
coach
time of the
speak.
year. I mean, the injuries, who's starting.
Right.
I mean, we hear a little bit out of Ohio State camp on the quarterback battle, but you really don't know.
No.
I mean, coaches aren't going to tell you the truth at this point in the
Right.
year. They want the other teams to have to scout everybody, and they don't want them to be able to figure out who's going to be playing and who's not.
Right. So, anyway, that's the Florida State section for today. So you said 11 was who? Let me write this
All right,
down.
here we go.
Missouri.
Number 11 was Missouri with an easy schedule.
And 12 was
They got a
LSU.
chance to be in there for real.
Yeah.
Number 12 was LSU. I'm kind of watching out for Tennessee. Number 13 is Utah. 14, not a lot of love for Clemson. 15, Tennessee. 16th, Oklahoma. 17th, Kansas State. 18th, Oklahoma State. 19th, the Miami Hurricanes. 20th, Texas A&M. 21, Arizona. 22, NC State. NC State's got an easy schedule. They could luck up and maybe get into something.
I think Tennessee's a little underrated this year with the quarterback they
They're gonna be
got.
good.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
a good coach. They've recruited really well. I mean, they've
Yeah.
beaten Alabama in the last couple
Alabama
of years.
at home.
Yeah.
I'm saying watch out. They might be better than LSU.
I
don't
think
know.
they're better than Michigan. I think they're better than some of these teams. They might even be better than Florida State. I know Florida State don't want to hear that right now. But Florida State's got to prove a little bit with DJ at quarterback for me.
All right.
Number 23, the Southern Cal Trojans. 24, Kansas. 25, Iowa. You know what's weird? You brought that up. There could be a team like LSU, Penn State, Tennessee get left out, and a team that's not as good like I don't want to say FSU. I just say
Oklahoma
like a Miami, Oklahoma State,
Yeah.
Utah.
One of those Pac or Big 12 teams.
Even a team you're talking about get in and get a bye because they're a member of the ACC, the Big 12.
Yeah.
If you're in the ACC, you ought to be fortunate. You got a lot easier path to make the playoffs, I think, than the rest. Even the Big 12. I might be wrong on that. The very top is probably better, but the rest of them, what's the tougher league, the Big 12 or the ACC? The top, I'd go ACC, but the rest of the league, I think I'd go the Big 12.
I think there's more like parity in the Big 12, but you can't look past Clemson, Miami, Florida State as legitimate contenders.
Right.
So
That's what
those
I'm
are what's
saying.
lacking
So
in
the
the Big 12.
top is good.
Right. But the overall balance is not so good. It's really top heavy.
Yeah.
So the Big 12 is probably going to be harder to come out of. I really can't give you a favorite on that. Maybe Utah, aren't they the Big 12 now?
Yes.
Maybe that's the team, but they're not great. But you got three legitimate teams in the ACC, Florida State, Miami, and Clemson that think they can win a national title this year. Now, is that feasible?
They think it.
Probably not.
You talk about
they think it.
Utah. Utah, in a way, reminds me of Iowa because they're really well coached.
Right.
Yeah.
They've had the same staff. They've had the same system. They have the same beliefs for a long time. And Utah is going to be hard to beat.
They are.
In the Big 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
They really are. I think, they might be in there.
Until they play a team like Ohio State.
Right, this got some athletes.
Yeah.
And I like what
Oregon.
Colorado does there. Pac-12 was pretty deep last year, so that was a tough conference for them. So they're going to have a little bit easier games this year.
Let me ask both of you this, and excuse me if I interrupt you, but
No, go
I want to do it before I forget. ACC, to try to keep that league together, would you, as the other members, other presidents at universities in that league, would you get together and say, look, to keep us together, to keep this thing falling apart, let's just go ahead and pay Clemson and Florida State what they want, and we take less share. Kind of like what they did for Texas for years.
I would go after Notre Dame hard. I mean, they're already in it. I mean,
But I ain't talking about that.
No, I'm just saying that would add enough clout for me to be able. I think so, but I would go after them hard. If you had them with Florida State, Clemson, Miami, and Notre Dame, you could sustain.
But still, you're not paying them. I'm talking about money. Would you pay them to keep them?
No.
No, I wouldn't either.
Not the ACCs.
I think universities are very selfish. They care about them. Their bottom line is not how are you doing. It's how are we doing.
Right.
Can we pay our bills? Can we pay them? I just don't see that happen. I mean, in theory, it makes sense, but I don't see that happening.
I don't see the SEC and Big Ten allowing it to happen.
Right.
I mean, they want the super conferences.
Right.
That's where it's heading, and they're going to make that happen. And they have all the money and all the power right now.
All right, we get back.
I agree.
I'll let Wildcat talk about it just a second. Right now, let's talk about Turf Pro Pest Control. Patrick came in yesterday, did a great job. You'll be listening to him every Monday around 8:30 to 9. Turf Pro Pest Control is number one. You want that yard to look beautiful, they'll come out. We'll have a game plan. They'll execute it. Your yard will look outstanding quickly. Paparazzi Pizza on Thomas Drive. It's almost pizza season. College football is almost here. NFL ball games will be played soon. Order those pizzas. Go pick them up, or better yet, eat them down there. They got a bar down there now. TVs everywhere. They got the best bakery. You'll go anywhere. Try the Paradise Cake. It's incredible. Paparazzi Pizza's unbelievable. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancers. 5 minutes can save your life. Don't put it off. If it doesn't look right, feel right. Call Dr. Ward. You'll listen to him tomorrow at 7:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And I want to thank John and Charlotte again for all you do for Bay County. And let's get out and make sure we support them. They're always giving back to the community. Get out to Newbies and tell them Coach sent you. All right, Wildcat, let's do it.
All right, here's the deal, boys and girls, moms and dads. How would you like 4 tickets to the Atlanta Braves baseball game? Here's what you got to do. You got to be the 10th caller at area code 850-215-6290, 215-6290. And as soon as I answer the phone, you have to say the magic word, and the magic word is...
Roll Tide!
No, it's not.
Go Buckeyes.
The magic word is... God help me. The magic word is chop on. You say the
chop
word
on.
to be the correct caller, say the magic word chop on, and you will get 4
What's
tickets.
the phone number?
The phone number is 215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He is a seat beneath my butt. Ron Mulvey is a star. It's his birthday today, so I'd like
birthday.
right now.
Right.
No, we're gonna sing to him. Ron Mulvey,
my God.
happy birthday to you.
Ryan Mobley.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze at 16 miles per hour out of the west and temps near 95. Tonight we will have clear skies and be quite warm at 82. Sunny tomorrow and a high 92. Mostly sunshine throughout the day with a chance of thunderstorms in the evening Thursday with a temp of 94. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231 and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show,
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michaels Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Braves! We got a winner. We have got a winner. 4 free tickets to Atlanta Braves baseball. Take your family. Take me and Julie with you and your wife or friend or whatever. Who do we have? Good morning, sir.
This is Carl Thornton.
Hey, Carl. Congratulations, man. I'm glad you,
Magic word.
Mo, what's the magic word?
Cell phone.
You got it. We got a winner. Hey, do you live on the beach? You live in town?
I'm up here working on timber. I'm in Fort Walton.
Oh, good. Good job. What's your team, man? What's your college football team?
LSU Tigers, right?
All right. Hey, what do you think? Is that defense going to be a defensive line? That's the only question mark I have. If they're good there, I think they have a good year.
We're gonna have a mediocre year this year.
Oh, Lordy. All right.
You might
That
take a
answered my
step back
question.
on offense because Jaden Daniels is such a stud in the wide receiver corps. So, but they're going to be really good. Don't get me wrong. But
there's a Heisman Trophy quarterback.
It's a big game versus USC. USC is very similar to how LSU's been in the past. Really explosive offense.
That could be a really high scoring game.
Yeah.
50 to 45.
Now, I got to ask him about his old ball coach. He's retired now. The GOAT, Nick Saban. What happens at Bama? Do they fall apart, or do they keep rolling?
Bama's never going. Bama's gonna always be on top.
Hey, give him more gifts. Give him whatever he wants.
Yeah, they always make the right decisions at the right time, and that's my second team. But Nick is hard to beat, buddy.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. Hey, you ever get down to here and eat some of these restaurants here in Bay County?
Not yet. I'm just working, and we're just working up here doing construction, and pretty much just go back, Fort Walton on the weekends.
Well, if you get an opportunity, go to that Cajun place on Thomas Drive. They are huge LSU fans. They're huge Saints fans, and they're great people. Go in there and tell them you're an LSU fan. They'll really take care of you.
Grab that New York strip. It was really good.
Everything's good. Yeah. Everything's good. Hey, listen, I sure do appreciate you listening. I really, truly do, and I hope LSU has a good year for you. Don't hang up. Wildcat's going to tell you what you need to do to get your tickets, and thank you for calling in, and thank you again for listening, okay?
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
You too, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good man right there. LSU Fighting Tigers.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
Announcement here. Mosley High School, the 3rd annual Texas Hold'em poker tournament, Friday, August 9th. Panama Country Club from 6 to 9. Let's help them out, man. If you get out there, you can help them. Help Mosley out. This is football team needs the money, no doubt about that. And again, it's the 3rd annual Texan Hold'em. You play poker.
Oh, yeah.
You're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
The poker tournament we held on August 9th, Friday, August 9th, Panama Country Club from 6 to 9. So make sure and if you have any questions, you call Mosley High School Athletic Director and ask questions there. This is all I know about it. I know it's a great thing. I do encourage all of you out there to buy an ad in the programs for all the high schools, or just give a flat donation. Help them out as much as you can. Everything, as you know, this great economy we're having is like the best in the world, as far as you know. Give money because they definitely need it. Everybody's hurting right now. So even if it's $5, if you can give that'd be great. If you can, if you can't, we understand. But help out all the high schools. The kids are working extremely hard. The cheerleaders are working hard. The band members are working hard. The coaches and teachers are working extremely hard. Let's support these people big time. All right, Jason stole my thunder. CBS, after we gave the poll out, that was the USA Today coaches poll, and Georgia's number 1, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Michigan, Penn State, FSU, Missouri, LSU. That's the 12 teams they got in the playoffs. And then CBS says, not so fast, my fan. And kind of like what Jim hit on, the most overrated team, number 8, Michigan, the Big Ten champions of last year, the national champs of last year, lost a lot of players, lost their coaching staff. And Jim made a good point. Everything that's going on for them, this is a totally different team. You got a head football coach there, just got a head job. I seen him get emotional on the sidelines and cry about Harbaugh.
My bad.
How is he going to handle this? He kind of screwed up already by deleting 52 Texas Techs. with the investigation, they can go back and get them. So you said they already have them anyway.
They already have.
They already have them. And
so why do you delete?
He was already under a penalty for the violations early in the year too. So this was his second. That's what people.
He's
understand.
a repeat offender.
Harbaugh had 3 offenses last year. He had 2, and they're destroying text messages, not cooperate with the investigation. What could happen? He could get a show cause.
Removed hard drives.
Oh, they had players removing hard drives. I mean, for them to act like and say that the coaches had no knowledge of what was going on is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, the hard drives are what the coaches were accessing. That's what Stallions was putting all the information on. They were accessing it. They were building game plans based on this information. It was the most elaborate sign-stealing scheme we've ever seen in college football history. So all those Michigan fans out there that says everybody does it on a certain level. They just don't do it on that level. I mean, they don't go out and hire people and travel to all these games and sit behind their benches and record their coaches audio.
You don't have to do this at all. I just agree that everybody does it.
No, absolutely
you
not.
don't, because you get all the film you need.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not. Come on.
I got 2 comments. Here's my first comment. I coached high school forever. I used to have to go when I was just a lowly assistant. I had to go out and physically scout people in person. I did it all the time. I learned a ton of football. It's very valuable to do that. We got to write it. I mean, you got to be good.
Right.
You got to know what the heck you're talking about. And you can't in high school either. You can't film the other team. You can't do that. And obviously, when I started, we didn't have the phones. The technology wasn't there. You'd had to have a shoulder camera or something, you know. But that's not even legal in high school.
Right.
It's not. That's the first one. And the second thing I was going to say, and I just completely slipped my mind here. About the precedent. People I say, well, yeah, but there's no precedent to vacate wins or take away championships. Well, let me kind of clue you in. Yeah, nobody has ever done this. Is unprecedented.
Let's take this call.
Oh, here we go.
Most
This is not a winner.
overrated team.
This is not a contest winner.
Good morning.
Go Blue, Tri-City, Arizona.
Ooh.
You got some cojones calling in today, son.
Most overrated team, number 8 in Michigan.
Why wouldn't I call in?
Well, because you've been saying for the last year and a half that this was CGI all made up. There's nothing to it. And now we have the NOA that shows that not only did Harbaugh cheat, Sharon cheated, they destroyed evidence, they didn't cooperate with investigations. I mean, it was the most elaborate science.
You gonna let me talk?
And it smeared everything that you did. Everything that you did is smeared.
Okay, what does NOA stand for?
Notice of allegations. They're telling you your allegations.
What's the last word?
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Come on. You're playing word salad.
No, I'm just saying.
This is Kamala Harris talk right here.
Yeah, this is
Kamala, come back to reality.
You guys are Buckeye boys.
Come back to reality, Kamala.
We kicked your butt the last 3 years and all that crap.
Oh, come
and you know
on.
what? Okay, let's say it's all true. It's all true. Do you think Michigan's the only school that's doing it?
Yes,
Be
at that level,
honest.
absolutely.
Yes.
There's no evidence of anybody else doing it.
You're so full of crap.
Yes. How?
You know, let me get the Sherman. All right? You know, come on.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's been going around for years about schools, you know, bending the rules, getting an advantage, and all that stuff. This is nothing new.
All right, Michigan. I'm. This is between Ohio State and Michigan. I'm just telling you the truth.
I actually disagree with that.
I'm just telling you the truth. You're wrong. You get the films. You swap films.
I broke them down. You get the film every game, all season.
You don't have to do what they did. You get every film you need. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You're absolutely right. Stallions, he could have been a lone agent.
Oh, come on. I mean, he's standing next to your coordinators calling the offense and defense. You don't think the coaches know who's on the sidelines?
Sharon Moore. Yeah, he deleted the text supposedly, right?
Of course.
But then he retrieved them and gave them to the NCAA. So that media report, Sharon Moore deleted these texts, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't tell you he retrieved them and then gave them to the NCAA. The fake news only wants to tell you what they want you to hear to create a
kind of like the Michigan people.
Yeah.
That's the fake news, brother. That's the fake news.
Until we're proven guilty in the NCAA corrupt
You are being proven
You were proven guilty.
I really don't care. I really don't care, honestly.
Harbaugh was suspended 3 games by the Big Ten, so there was over.
All right, y'all don't talk over each other.
Look, you're just buttered. We won a national championship.
I'm not.
We beat the last 3 times.
It's not it at all. I would give you respect.
and Ryan Day is supposed to hang 100 on us, right? But the NCAA doesn't mean crap to me because they're all corrupt. It's like our politicians are Democrats and Republicans of this country. I really don't care about
You
that.
do
'cause they're
sound like a
corrupt as crap,
Democrat
too.
right now.
Michigan, Eddie. When
what?
we in Alabama,
You spin me up this morning.
Alabama almost got the death penalty. We cheated and we got in trouble and we deserved it. We bought a kid up in Memphis. I can't think of the kid's
Albert
name.
Means.
Albert Means. I think $300,000 back in 2009.
You outbid Tennessee for him.
We got in trouble because we outbid Tennessee. So we did it. We broke the rule. We paid the price, and we were
You
wrong.
guys broke the rule all the time, giving you guys crimson and white cars. That's verified intel I got. All the recruits get a car from a dealership up in Tuscaloosa. Verified.
That's all well and good, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're talking about.
In-game scouting with recordings.
I'm just saying. Hey, you still got to play the game and beat them.
No, when you know what play's coming, why don't you do this then, since it had no impact on the game? Why don't you have Michigan's coaches mail Ohio State your entire playbook and see what happens in November? It's still going to happen. We're still going to crush you because you have nobody there to steal signs. Why does it coincide with Stallions being hired in 2021? You made this historic turnaround that you won every game and covered 77% of the games against the spread. Before, you only covered 23%. You had no recruiting class come in, no Cam Newton.
Do you really think we need to steal signs?
100%.
Yes.
You're about to fire your coach. He was 0-7 against Ohio State. He went out and hired a code breaker from the freaking Marines, and you're telling me it didn't have a correlation into you winning games.
Can you shut
Well,
up?
I'm just trying to speak
dude?
facts because I'm tired of hearing these Michigan fans make excuses when the evidence has already been presented.
We'll be right back.
You believe everything on it?
104.3
Here's the thing.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Okay, sponsor of the show. I know you pay the money and crap, but here's the thing. When all this stuff came out, we still beat Penn State, Ohio State, no.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back. ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphins.
And Kyle Wright.
And the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
As the Mosley Dolphins take on rivals Niceville, Rutherford, and the Bay Tornadoes. Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze at 16 miles per hour out of the west and temps near 95. Tonight we will have clear skies and be quite warm at 82. Sunny tomorrow and a high 92. Mostly sunshine throughout the day with a chance of thunderstorms in the evening Thursday with a temp of 94. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take control of your adventure and discover the new Kia at Bill Burr Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Burr Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. The road is yours in an all-new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/3/24.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
He has one man to beat. He beat him. Charge, Wes, Hunter, touchdown Auburn.
Kickoff on the Plains is coming.
50-10, 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Peyton Thorne.
Auburn football returns August 31st.
The kick is on the way. The season is underway.
Only on your home for the Tigers.
Auburn fans, we're bringing you every single game this season on the exclusive home for the Auburn Tigers on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida War Eagle.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide, roll. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. #1 throughout Northwest Florida, heck, #1 throughout the country. Most honest people you'll deal with. They are incredible. Call them up if you're having a problem. Anytime, day or night, they'll be there for you. The one and only Stevenson Air Conditioning. Before we get to Bama, I do want to get a couple things in here. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. You want to have a great meal day, head out to Beef O'Brady's. Pat Purnell's the city commissioner over there, does an incredible job. He owns Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. You walk in there, it's like being back in the old days. That old show, Cheers, it's like they know your name. Their service is incredible. Food is too.
Good dude.
And if we want to go get some jewelry, where are we going to head to?
You're going to go to David Adamson Fine Jewelry, 830 Highway 77 in Lynn Haven. You design it, they'll build it. You can get jewelry appraised. You can get it repaired in-house, or you can even sell them your old jewelry if you want to. David Adamson Fine Jewelry, Highway 77.
And we're so happy to have that Cajun place back. If you're LSU or a Saints fan, get down there when they're playing, man. If they score a touchdown, let me repeat this, a touchdown, you get a free Jell-O shot. But they love, everybody's down there. We're all down there. All the different schools. It's cool. Everybody's got those shirts on. It's really neat. Head on down there. Some great
Get a Jell-O shot out of Coach Hale's belly button.
Yep.
Thank you. Wow.
Doesn't get any better than that.
I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Huh?
I said I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Thank you, Jason.
A little hairy belly button.
Hey, I want to, Michigan, we love you, man.
I do. I love you.
We love you to death. Don't get upset about this. It's just like I pointed out, Alabama's broke the rules before, and they were punished, and we just accept it, and we say, hey, our bad. We'll try to learn from it, not do it again. We don't make excuses. Anyway, Alabama Crimson Tide betting lines. Here we go. These are the games you can bet on right now. Alabama at Wisconsin is favored by 7.5. Be careful. Their secondary versus their passing attack. Their weakness, if we have weaknesses, and I do believe we do, is going to be our corners. They're extremely young. Our secondary, how will we protect? How will we rush the passer? How will we cover? I think that could be an issue. They have changed their offense into a pass. This is year 2 of his offense. He's gone spreading the ball on the field, throwing the ball everywhere. A lot of people will be excited up there for this ball game. Jeremy Pritchett is going to be there. Good luck. 7.5. I don't know if they cover or not.
It's an appealing
I
spread
don't know if
to
they
me.
win.
Man, I love Fickle, but that team's a couple years away from having the talent to compete with Alabama, in my opinion. But with a new coach, new offense, just a completely new staff, you just don't know what you're going to see from Alabama. On the surface, I think that's a really good spread to take Alabama. Not that we're, promoting gambling or anything, but I think Alabama's going to be really good this year. I'm going to pick them to win the SEC unless I see something changing. I just think if Milroe can take the next step, kind of like Jalen Hurts did in his career, late in his career, I just think they
look
have
what
so much
DeBoer
talent.
did for Penix.
That's my whole correlation with this whole thing with Alabama and their blue chip ratio. 85% of their teams 4 and 5 stars.
Right.
I mean, they got some studs. They might be a little young, a wide receiver in some other spots, but man, if they put it together, I just think they're the best team in the SEC.
All right, here we go. The next one you can bet on right now versus Georgia, home game. Kirby needs to win this game big time. If he wins this game, that's going to be big for him. If he loses it now, you might hear the Georgia people going, hey, we've kind of lost control because his record against Alabama is not very good at all. It's like got one win in all the big games, and they've all been huge games, SEC championship, national championship games. He beat Saban one time. But there's a new man at Alabama now. It's not Nick Saban. Georgia is favored by 4.5. If DeBoer wins this game, this is going to give him a lot of leeway going in the future. If he loses this game, then he loses to, say, Tennessee, LSU, or Auburn. You will see some ugly stuff out of our field. 9-3, there'll be a lot of complaining.
Right.
Big time. 4.5 point favorite, Georgia at Alabama. Sounds about right now, looking at everything that's going on. The Georgia's preseason number 1 or number 2 about every single poll. I kind of agree with that. 4.5 would be about the right spot.
I would agree with that. I'm not saying that Georgia won't beat Alabama in that first game of the year. I'm saying by the end of the year, I think Alabama is going to be one of the top 3 teams in the country. Oregon's getting a lot of love. I think Georgia's going to be up there too. I think they're going to play twice this year. I know a lot of people are high on Texas. I'm not as high on Texas as a lot of people are. I just don't think their defense matches up. But those are the 2 teams, in my opinion, that are going to come out of the SEC that are really national championship contenders.
All right, the next one, at Tennessee. This one scares me to death. -2, Alabama's favorite. At Tennessee, if it's at night, we get in trouble. Anyway, they got a quarterback that can run, that can throw. Tennessee's going to be really good. I do believe that. Again, they spread
Don't
the
play
field.
man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. That's one thing you're going to see a little bit different. We got a new defensive coordinator. You won't see us play man coverage every single time. That's all Nick believed in. We did that almost all the time. I went back and watched the national championship game. They burned us every time we were in man coverage against Michigan. They hit the back out of the backfield. Or it was like a counter pay that killed us down there. 2-point play killed us down there. Hopefully we'll do something more than just man coverage every time. But Tennessee, I think, is going to be good. That's a game to keep an eye on. It's not going to shock me a bit if Tennessee wins that game. The other game that you guys might not agree with, I think is going to be a problem for us, even though we're favored by 8.5 at home versus Missouri. They got their quarterback back. They got their running back back. They got skilled receivers. This will be a tough game for Alabama. This is going to be a high-scoring game.
I think so. I'm still not completely sold on Missouri. I know they're really good. I think they're solid. I think
They got an
easy schedule. That's the only reason I think they're going to finish a little bit better than what I think they are as a team. But they're getting a lot of credit for that Ohio State win. They were down to their 3rd-string quarterback. The offensive line was a makeshift offensive line, and that defense really held up against Missouri until late. So I just got to see them take the next step. They got Burden, who's a really good player. The quarterback's really good. Running back's really good. But I just need to see that defense and the offensive line to really make a really solid prediction on
What
that.
about Tennessee?
I love Tennessee. I think Tennessee's a sleeper in the conference. I do think they could win the East possibly, but everything's got to go right. I still got Georgia, Alabama at the top.
All right, this one, and no more East and West. It's all like
Right.
Yeah. All right, at LSU. And this is out of Vegas now. If you want to bet on the game, now's the time to do it. LSU +1. LSU's favored by 1 to win again at home. Last time they played there, LSU beat them in overtime. LSU's defensive line, I don't think is going to be great. I think the first group is going to be pretty doggone good. I think you're going to have problems if somebody gets hurt and they don't have much depth at the defense line. Remember, he went crazy when they lost that 5-star to Oklahoma.
The reason I love Alabama this year is because they're running backs, and I think their running game is going to be phenomenal.
We got good offensive line, I think.
I do too. So that's why the running game travels, defense travels. That's the thing that doesn't take off. So Alabama's schedule is really tough, though. I mean, that's the really one thing I'm looking at now. Tennessee, LSU, Georgia. So they're going to drop a game or two, but I think in the end they're going to be really good. But I think they beat LSU just because of that defense.
All right. Jim, what do you think?
It's always a Wild West when you go to LSU at night. But historically, and you know this because you're the one who told me, Alabama plays very well there.
They do.
Historically, at night.
They own it.
As poorly as they play at Tennessee at night, that's as well as they play at LSU at night. So it'll be a tough game, but I think Alabama wins that one. I really do.
All right, at Oklahoma. Now, I keep hearing Oklahoma's back. I don't know.
We'll see.
We're going to find out. Alabama's favored by only 1.5 points at Oklahoma. That'll be a huge game for Oklahoma. It's not the first time Bama's been there. They went back there about 20 years ago, I think, maybe before then. They got beat there. Played well, though. They played good then. They weren't a very good team back then. What do you guys think about Oklahoma, Alabama? Oklahoma's defense is supposed to be a lot better this year.
I think Alabama beats them.
I don't get the Oklahoma hype. What did they add to that team? They lost Dylan Gabriel.
Right.
I mean, what did they add that would make people believe they're on par with Alabama, Georgia,
That's a good point.
Texas? It's kind of like Oregon. They just make something up and say, "Oh, they're really good," but why? Where are the recruiting classes? Where are the superstars that are coming in? Now, Oregon's added some people through the portal. Don't get me wrong. I think they're very talented, but to anoint these teams without adding any really talent to them is just it's kind of confusing to me.
Well, it's interesting. Saturdays Down South, I got a lot of respect for them. They really dig in and get information. They do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
They got Oklahoma 15th in the country in their preseason poll that just came out. And what did they have Oklahoma? I think like where's Oklahoma in the other poll, the coaches poll, Jim? Do you remember?
I thought it was in the 20s, I thought. I could be wrong.
Let me look at it real quick. And we got Oklahoma 16. It's about the
16,
same.
yeah.
About the same, so we'll see. And the last one, if you want to bet on it right now, and be careful on this one, man, I'm telling you. In the past, when Tuberville was there, Bama wasn't very good. They would come in there, and I think he won 6 in a row. They would come in Tuscaloosa and put it on us. If Auburn's ranked, I don't care where we play, it's going to be a tough game. But Alabama, I wouldn't touch this one. Alabama's favored by 15. I think Auburn.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, Alabama's favored by 15 at home versus Auburn.
And
Auburn's better, guys.
But even in any big-time rivalry with Ohio State, Michigan,
15 points?
that's a huge spread there. I wouldn't touch
What do
that
they
with
know
a
that we
10 foot.
don't?
I know. We saw it last year. I mean, that was a tough game last year. I think Auburn's going to be highly motivated. Their whole season is going to be dependent on whether Peyton Thorne's the guy or not. Does he take the next step? Can he develop the intermediate passing game, or is he just going to be kind of that one-trick pony that can make some nice runs, maybe making a couple nice throws, but really doesn't have that championship quality? I just don't see it from Peyton Thorne. I like Alabama, but 15, that's a huge number in a rivalry game.
All right, we get back. We'll talk about the Auburn Tigers. Let's give some love to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. After I talk about this, Stevenson Air Conditioning is number one. I tell you what, they're the most honest people I've ever dealt with in my life. Everybody, I go to Jay Michaels, they say, hey, I've used them. I use them. I got a lot of friends that go there and eat, people I've met. Because of the show, they hear us talking about they're down at J. Michaels, they want to say hello, and they talk about their sign, their truck in Bay Point, the truck in Panama City Beach. They do a great job. They're wonderful people, family owned. Give them a call. Go with locals. Don't use some national company. Go with local people, man. They do what they tell you you're going to do. You want to get it serviced about every 6 months. It helps you save money with your power bill. Stevenson Air Conditioning. No, that's all you got to remember. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Jason, Max Fit Sports Nutrition.
Yeah, we got our Intech Evolution Protein that's good for mom, dad, all athletes. It's sweetened with stevia, no artificial sweeteners or colors in it. It's 30 grams of protein. It's got a full multivitamin, collagen. It's got everything you need for a healthy meal replacement. If you want to lose some body fat, tone up a little bit, come down and try our Intech Evolution Protein. They've won awards for their flavors. Really good low-carb meal replacement. We have samples at both locations, so come see us on 23rd Street or in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
And don't forget about all of our great sponsors like J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. One day away from that world-famous spaghetti. Black beans and rice today and quesadilla. You'll love it. The legendary J. Michael's. South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck Tucker. The Elites use Chuck Tucker. South Oak Title and Closing for all your real estate closing. Don't make a mistake and go with somebody else. No surprises. South Oak Title and Closing, number one, not even close. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill right across the street from the Navy base. The best happy hour out there. Great Mexican food. Lunch specials Monday through Friday, but the happy hour is incredible. Buy one, get one free. House wine, margarita, draft beer. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We get back Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
How far are we away from, instead of wars and stuff being fought with real soldiers, where we're actually, with avatars and stuff fighting, wars with robots or whatever, and instead of, it being a real person, it's a 10 or 12-year-old lighting you up, and it's, not an actual adult with, a M16 in his hands.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze at 16 miles per hour out of the west and temps near 95. Tonight we will have clear skies and be quite warm at 82. Sunny tomorrow and a high 92. Mostly sunshine throughout the day with a chance of thunderstorms in the evening Thursday with a temp of 94. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Those school bells are about to ring. Celebrate with a trip to Krispy Kreme and have a back-to-school Krispy Kreme celebration. Teachers have already returned, so stop by Krispy Kreme and pick up a dozen or two for that favorite teacher. Krispy Kreme with 2 locations in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Remember, get them hot this school year at Krispy Kreme.
It's time for a new kitchen from Kitchen Designs. Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach offers full-service cabinets, countertops, and flooring, plus cash and carry cabinets available the very next day. Kitchen Designs has been family-owned and operated for over 20 years. Visit their showroom at 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach. Or call Kitchen Designs, 850-775-4150.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle! Hey! What the kitty? James Guadalmagena and that grandbaby up in Atlanta.
Never cheats and always does things. I said, finally a team that never cheats and does things.
Never been on probation. Never done anything wrong. Cam just loved Auburn.
Yeah.
Hey, Eddie, when your horse is dead, it's time to dismount. A wise man said that.
That's a good advice there.
I wish I'd thought up that, Greg Pernicki.
Smart man.
Anyway, Auburn Update is brought to you by Beef Brody's in Lynn Haven. We all know how great it is over there. You got to go by and see Pat.
Yes, I will.
He needs to get on what I'm on for his heart. Some good stuff. He showed me what he was taking, and I looked at it. He needs to get off.
I have a little sample package you want to take by too.
Get over there and have a lunch, meet with him.
Yeah.
Pat does a great job. You want to have a great time at Beef Brody's. Watch any kind of sporting events, TVs everywhere. The food's incredible. I love the service, though. My goodness. I like the Cuban sandwich over there, but they got a big special on Wednesday. 10 wings inside for $9.99. Can't beat that. Beef Brody's in Lynn Haven. And Pat, love you, brother. You're probably the best city commissioner. Tommy says probably the best they've ever had in Lynn Haven. And Tommy lives over there. All right, Auburn Tigers. What do they have in common with Ohio State Buckeyes?
They're winners.
They're going to play each other in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
December 14th in Atlanta, Georgia, State Farm Arena. I don't know. Never been there, so I don't know. I guess that's where they.
Where's that at?
It's in Atlanta.
Oh.
Atlanta, Georgia. That's going to be on December 14th.
Maybe where the Hawks play.
Yeah, okay. The State Farm
I don't
Arena.
know that is my guess.
I'm sure it is.
I've never come
seen
up
it.
north and play us like in Indianapolis or anything. It seems like we're always playing in Atlanta.
It's inside, dude.
Even if we make it a national championship game, guess where we're playing? Georgia again.
In Atlanta. It just means more down here.
I know.
Compared up there. That's easier. We have better weather. It's easier to travel.
Better officiating.
A lot better officiating, yes. Hey, I want to get into Auburn's recruiting again. I kind of hit on it yesterday again a little bit, but I looked further into it. This is concerning if you're a Bama fan. You should be concerned.
Did you hear him whining yesterday about this?
They kicked
eight of the top players in Alabama went to Auburn, and the other two went to be Buckeyes.
I know.
And his kid's killing.
The 10
He's
best
crying.
players and the 10 top players.
And not one of them's going to Alabama.
Not one going to Alabama. It's not over, though.
But you came into Cincinnati and Ohio State's territory and took our number one defensive end, so the tears aren't that bad.
And you came back and took the best player in college football on the defense side of the ball.
No, he was already gone.
The number one player.
He already smarted
He'll
up.
be the first DB drafted. Auburn's recruiting strong hometown talent, and Bama's got a lot of players that next couple of years, really good ball players. Kind of overshadowed Alabama's, no doubt about that. But look, listen to this. Between 2016 and 2022, Auburn only managed to sign 18 players of the top 91 elite players. We're talking 5 and 4 stars. They only got 18 out of 91.
From Alabama or just in general?
Just in general. Bama got the rest of them. Georgia came in. Auburn was not doing this. And they had different coaches. Well, maybe not. But look what Hugh Freeze and his staff has done. They've made a point. We're going to own the state of Alabama. Alabama was Saban there, recruited the entire nation. Maybe sometimes some high school coaches get their feelings hurt because they wouldn't take one of their guys. And you got to realize there was a kid in California that could play quarterback better than a kid in Alabama, so they went to Alabama, they went to Hawaii, and they got the best quarterbacks. It worked out pretty good for Saban in Alabama. Hugh Freeze is getting the top players in the state.
Can I throw my 2 cents in there?
Yeah.
It's funny, about Hugh Freeze because he's recruiting so well. Well, he recruited really well at Ole Miss. It just wasn't legal at the time.
Right.
You know? So he's kind of...
His biggest mistake.
Are you saying he had a head start?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of pre-practice in, you know.
Well, hey, you know what? Give Auburn credit. You know, they knew what to do. They got somebody who knows
His
the
biggest
system.
downfall at Ole Miss was stealing recruits from Alabama because they turned him in and he got
No, that's
smashed.
not true.
That is true.
Kind of is.
I know.
But go back. I'm going to get back to again. The 18 of the top 91 players went to Auburn. Rest went to Alabama. Most of the rest of them went to Alabama. A few went to Georgia.
Right.
But out of that 18, in 2017, they got 6. So they really weren't doing hardly anything. 2017 was their best year between 2016 and 2022.
Was that the Harsin era, though?
No,
that was before him.
That was before. That was
Yeah,
Gus.
16. That's Malzahn.
Chizik and Malzahn.
Yeah, okay.
Gus. All right. This is what going on in 2023. Auburn got 3 of the elite. Oh, okay. 2023, they got 3 more of the I'm sorry. 2023, they got 3 more of the elite players. But right now, Auburn's got 9 of the top 17 players in the state of Alabama, 8 of the top 10 in Alabama. Auburn is kicking Alabama's butt in state recruiting. There's nothing else you can say about it. They're getting it done. I said this yesterday. DeBorg is new to the SEC. He's new to the state of Alabama. And I think sometimes you get a commitment, well, we got these guys, that's pretty good. Let's go on and focus somewhere else. Not saying that they didn't keep focusing on the ones they had committed there, but I think he's learning, and I think you do learn. The first year you learn a lot of things about where you're at in your new job.
For sure.
When you got a kid commits to you, all that means everybody else is going to recruit him harder.
Right.
They're not giving up in the SEC. They're not.
That just means they know where he's intending to go.
But I like Hugh Freeze's strategy. He's going to get young guys, great players from home state, keep them here, develop them, and see what happens.
I think this is a huge year for him because they're adding talent. I mean, I don't think they need to win 10 games or anything.
He needs to win 8.
They need to improve. They need to show some improvement at the quarterback spot, or else you're just Jimbo Fisher. You can recruit, you can do all this other stuff, but when it comes to coaching and getting these guys coached up, you got to take the next step and develop.
I think what Auburn fans are looking like, I'm looking forward to, and I consider myself an Auburn fan. How are you going to play every snap, every game? We saw it from Florida last year. We saw it from Auburn last year, where they didn't play Auburn football. I'm gonna tell you something. I've watched Auburn my whole life.
Yeah.
Even when they've been bad, they hit you, and they played defense. Even when they were losing season, they would get after you on defense side of the ball. They never lay down and quit. We saw them not play worth a crap against New Mexico State. We might as well say the truth. Against Maryland, they look like they quit in that game also.
They didn't even show up on that one.
They didn't. And that's not Auburn football.
No, and that's a red flag for Hugh Freeze. I mean,
yeah, it is.
You got to get those guys motivated to play, especially when you're building a new culture. I mean, you can't have guys just laying down. We saw that with Florida Napier. That's what we were all in the Kentucky game. That's I think Florida ran for 200 yards in the first half. You had defensive backs that were jogging around. We were like,
they were playing touch. They weren't hitting anybody.
No.
But one again, I hit it yesterday. But another huge pickup when they got that 5-star Jared Smith. He was a big pickup for Auburn. The kid can play.
Absolutely.
You watch him on the highlights, 6'6" and a half, I forgot what he weighs, 235, something like that.
Top
The kid
10
can run like a
national
deer.
player.
Great ball player. Got all kind of potential. We'll see. I hit on a little bit yesterday also during the show about the coaching staff. I do really think it's big they got Nick's back. He feels comfortable with him. They work together at Ole Miss together. He's a good coach. The offensive coordinator they had last year, the year Hugh Freeze more or less took over.
Right.
There was friction on the staff. They had players going to other coaches. I won't mention their name, Cadillac. And
you ain't there no more.
Crying to them about what's going on at practice, what's going on in playing time, and everything else. And then we all know. Well, we all don't. Have never said, but things happened up in Nashville that shouldn't have happened. And now you see they got new coaches in there, and things are going good. Recruiting's going good. I've heard fall camp's been outstanding. So things are heading right direction for the Auburn Tigers.
It's going to be a good season.
And I know I should know this, but who does Auburn start off with?
Alabama A&M, I think. I think it's Alabama A&M.
Okay.
Yeah, but their schedule's tough now. It really
No, I
is.
know it's tough. It gets tougher.
The SEC is super tough this year. I mean, there's a lot of teams. It's the middle of the pack. The LSU, Auburn, Texas A&M's. I mean, Texas. I guess I would put the middle of the pack. But when you got Georgia, even Florida has a decent shot this year to make some noise in the East if they can put some stuff together. I mean, I know some of their fans are high on them this year, but their schedule's so tough. I mean, Alabama. I mean, that conference this year, to me, top to bottom, is just going to be brutal. I mean,
and that's what bothers me. And Nick Saban said this. He's like us. You pick the 12. Let's get away from these conference. All conferences are not created equal. The Big 12 is not nearly top heavy like the SEC, Big 10. I don't think it's top heavy like the ACC. Also,
well, let me ask you this:
12 best teams. Let's pick the 12 best teams to get the national.
Where do you think Utah would finish in the SEC? 6th?
Maybe 10th.
Could be.
Yeah. I don't think they have the great
and they're the
week out to
favorite.
play that team, that speed.
And they're the favorite to win the Big 12 and get a bye and be a top 14. Yeah. I mean, that's ludicrous to me.
All right, we get back. We got some more stuff for you. I got to ask a question, too. If we get time, I want to get onto this. I want to go back and look at the overrated, underrated real quick, and then I want to talk about Kirby Smart, Urban Meyers. Is he more a Nick Saban or more Urban Meyer? People are writing some articles about Kirby I don't like, and we'll discuss that when we get back. But right now, I want to thank Beef O'Brady's, Pat Perno. Get out to Beef O'Brady's in the Navy and have a great time. Great food, great atmosphere, Beef O'Brady's. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend. Any type of injury, go see Chad Mitchell. Call him. You can listen to him right here on ESPN Northwest Florida every Monday. He's been taking care of Bay County athletes. This will be his 25th year. Rudy's Barbecue on Baton Beach Road, Jason's favorite place. They got great food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Rudy's Barbecue, and they cater. Outstanding food, outstanding service. Don't forget that Cajun place. If you're an LSU fan, make sure you're down there. If you're a Saints fan, get down there on Sundays. And don't forget, on Saturday and Sundays, you can get down there early. Watch game day. Watch your favorite teams. Wear your colors, man. Alabama shirts. I love going down there in wintertime. When it's cold, everybody's got their sweatshirts on. We're getting ready for the big ball games. You'll have a great time down there. The best wings anywhere. $5 pitchers, middle light. That Cajun place on Thomas Drive. Newbies, 4 great locations. Yeah, I said 4, not 3, 4. The New in St. Andrews and the 3 legendary places on Panama City Beach. Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch all sporting events. Newbies on the Mothership, the best bands in the Southeast. Go support them. They give back to the community all the way, John and Charlotte. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go see Dr. Ward. 5 minutes can save your life. Do not put it off, Wildcat. I see something that doesn't look right, man.
You got to go get it
Hey, what
checked
about
out.
our winner? Wasn't he a great guy?
Yeah. Did he say it was from Fort Walton area?
Fort Walton,
Fort Walton,
yes.
and down here working. He said the whole crew, when I was talking to him after the interview with you, he said the whole crew was listening to you, listens to you every day.
Nice.
His name is Carl Thornton.
Thank
by the
you,
way.
Carl.
So congratulations, Carl. You got 4 tickets to the Atlanta Braves baseball game. And we're going to do this again on Friday. And the afternoon underdogs are going to give away some tickets, and also the Inside Drive. They're going to give away some tickets.
We're giving a lot. Randy's giving away everything. He's
Burning it up.
Randy, quit spending money.
It's called the Week of Winning.
The Week of Winning on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back. And thank you guys so much for listening. It warms my heart when the people say stuff like that. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Maybe the pole vaulter, but is that a bad weekend? I don't know.
I don't know. Like if
Can you
win and lose? If
Is that a bad weekend? I don't know.
If a part of me prevented me from winning a medal, and it was that part of me,
right?
Like I'm okay with that. I think
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
y'all listen up.
Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line. Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
The Atlanta Braves are battling back in the division and keeping their sights set on the playoffs as the season heats up.
Bounce up the middle, might get through. Does! Base hit! Braves win! Austin Riley comes through with the winner!
Tonight, Austin Riley and the Braves wrap up for another series against the Milwaukee Brewers, live from Truist Park in Atlanta.
Braves coverage begins following the afternoon underdogs at 6. First pitch, 6:20. Your home for the Braves, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Oh, man. Let's go back to CBS. Overrated, underrated. Underrated. We went over the overrated. It was Michigan, number 8th ranked team in the country. Most underrated, we talked about Missouri is the most underrated. They I got to give them credit now. They won 11 games last year. They said the biggest win in school history. They won the Cotton Bowl, beating Ohio State Buckeyes. And I do think they're getting a lot of love off that win. But their schedule is set up really nice. I think it's one of the easier schedules in the SEC. I think they have really good players. I think they got a good football coach. And don't forget, this guy and the guy at Ole Miss, if things go south at Florida this year, I think these are 2 coaches they're going to go after. Lane Kiffin will be number 1, and I think he'll be the number 2 coach they go after.
Yeah.
If they have the kind of year I think they should have. I do think they win 10 ball games with their schedule, maybe with a bowl game. Who knows? Maybe they make the playoffs. But I kind of think with their schedule, you could say maybe they're a little bit underrated. What do you guys think about where they should be?
I think they're about where they should be. For me, an underrated team would be Tennessee at like 16 or 17. I think they should be in that 11, 12 area. I think they have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs with their quarterback play. But there's so many teams that are like and similar. And until we get into hitting and seeing these teams live, you just really don't know. But I think Tennessee's the most underrated team.
Over or under?
For who?
Missouri.
I think they're right about where they should be.
I do too.
You know, traditionally, they haven't been a real good team. When they first came in the SEC, when they had Gary Pinkel as their head coach, they got in.
They played for it, yeah.
They got in and got handled pretty good. Are they better than that now? I don't know, but they have a really easy schedule. I think they're going to win 10 or 11.
Yeah,
for sure.
And the Keys kid from Mosley's playing out there. He's a freshman out there. Really, really solid.
I really believe they'll go into that Alabama. I'm looking at their schedule. They got a great shot at going to being undefeated when they play Alabama. All right, overrated. Let me say this again. Overrated. Florida State. This is not me. This is CBS.
The SEC
17 new transfer players in. They're going to break in a new quarterback. Not better than they were last year. Are they better than Missouri? Are they better than Utah? Are they better than Tennessee? I don't know.
It's hard.
I kind of think they are.
See, that's kind of misleading. That you say they're breaking in a new quarterback. He's had 40 starts.
Right. He's the most veteran quarterback.
They haven't been at Florida State, obviously,
right.
But he had a ton at Clemson. He started every game last year at Oregon State on a pretty good team. So,
are they overrated?
Man, that was
CBS says they're
Do I
overrated.
think so? No, I don't think they're overrated. I think they're right about 10, like we were talking about. That's about where they should be. I think they'll be a playoff team. I really do.
This is my only problem.
Time out. They got them rated 10th, okay? Listen to that. They're 10th. They're going to win the ACC, and they're going to be getting a bye. They got them the highest ranked team in the ACC's at number 10. Is that fair?
It's tough because when you're building a team through the portal, chemistry
No, but
matters.
I mean, is it fair to let them have a bye when you got 9 other teams ranked higher than them?
No, absolutely not.
And I'm not. It's
If
not.
we're going by 4 best
You can
teams,
put Clemson's name in there. You put Miami's name in there.
Right.
I'm just saying.
If you're going by the 4 best teams, then obviously not. I mean, there's obviously 10 other teams ranked higher than them, so that's not fair. My only problem with Florida State is when you build through the portal and you get 1-year rentals and stuff like that, it's hard to build that chemistry. It's hard to build that camaraderie. You just doesn't know what's going to happen. Do they have a lot of talent? Absolutely. Can they put it together? Absolutely. Their whole key is if DJ is going to be the quarterback that they think he can be, and that's still up for debate because he just really hasn't been that guy at any of the stops. He's really good at Oregon State, don't get me wrong, but that's a different animal than playing in the ACC and playing, against Miami, against these other teams. So it's just hard to kind of decipher where they're going to be. They could be a top 4 team, or they could be, 16-20. You just don't know till they start to play.
Talking about overrated, I don't know if you're going to talk about this one, but I was just thinking in my mind, the one to me that's the most overrated is Notre Dame at 7.
Yeah.
Notre Dame at 7?
They are every year, it seems like.
Come on.
And I don't want to pile on Michigan, but I think they're completely overrated at 8.
No
I
question.
think they're a 4 or 5
Let me ask you real quick, just answer these questions real quick. Is FSU better right now, Penn State? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, Penn State.
I'd say push.
Okay, Penn State's number 9. Are they better than Michigan right now? I say yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
And Michigan's number 8. Are they better than Notre Dame right now? They're going to play each other. I say yes. Are they better than Ole Miss? I say no.
No, I don't think so.
Are they better than Alabama right now?
No.
Are they better than Texas right now?
No.
Are they better than Oregon right now?
Probably not.
No.
Oregon's the most. I just don't know about Oregon. You read everything; they're going to win it all. I mean, they're getting more love than anybody.
But who do they add that pushes them over the top? You know what I mean? It's not like they added these stacked recruiting classes. This year's recruiting class is phenomenal.
Well, he made a great point. They're not even on campus yet.
I know.
All right, are they better than Ohio State? No. Are they better than Georgia?
No.
Okay, so we have them ranked around 7th. All right, the other team they mentioned, I don't want to spend much time on this one. They said that underrated, and I'm only going by what CBS said. They're saying that SMU is underrated at number 25. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
I got to give them a lot of credit, though. They wanted to be in the ACC so badly. They're not taking one penny.
No.
They got enough money they can survive because they got big money out there. All right, another thing I want to talk to you guys about. This kind of touches a nerve with me. There's 2 articles. One of them said one thing, the other one said another. Let me just kind of get through it. 2008 Florida National Championship team. 41 of the former players have been arrested. Now that's kind of misleading. Were they arrested when they were at Florida? Were they arrested afterwards? Were they arrested before?
Right.
I don't know. That means 1 in every 3 players on that team was spent time in jail. I don't know if that's true. Are they as bad as Georgia? Is Kirby, this is the article, is Kirby Smart more of a Nick Saban or is more like a Urban Meyer? Kirby Smart is losing control at Georgia. I say hell no. I'm going to say right now, he's not lost control of anything. You can hate him because he's winning. He's not losing anything. To me, he's more like a Nick Saban, but you got to look at some of the facts they brought up. Florida, I think, this is another guy in this article. Florida, I think, had 29 players arrested when Urban was there. Georgia's had 29 players with driving infractions. So, which is worse? I think with Urban, that one guy, the big tight end that played for New England, got to kill somebody. I think that kind of blew everything up. But Kirby did say this: you're not going to win a national championship with Boy Scouts, and you're not. It's a man's sport.
I agree.
You got to be tough mentally and physically to play this game. It's a man's game,
Right.
And not everybody is a tough physical man.
Yeah, but this is still bad look. With the loss of life and the accident in the cars and the staff and stuff like that, there just seemed to be some lack of accountability within the program for a little bit. But to his credit, I think he kicked the wide receiver off the team, the recent infraction, so that set a...
Kind of had to.
Yeah, absolutely. His hand was forced. The media wasn't going to let that one just slide
When you
by.
abuse children, I think you got to go.
Right. You're not going to get suspended for the first quarter of Albany.
You made a really good point, because a lot of people don't remember Oklahoma under Barry Switzer. We do.
Yeah.
They turned south on him when they started losing games. I think it's not a good look for Kirby Smart. I mean, they got a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
But as long as they're playing for national championships, I think that stuff's going to be kind of pushed to the side.
Winning cures all ills.
Like the old expression, winning is the best deodorant.
Right.
Nobody's going to really bring it up. Now they start losing to Alabama or lose to Ole Miss or lose to Texas, Oklahoma, whoever.
The Alabama game's big.
And you started losing 2-3 games a year for multiple years. Look what happened to Mark Richt. I mean, he had a tremendous
10
record.
wins a year.
I'll be honest.
10 wins a year.
I'm surprised this doesn't happen at more places with the money they're giving these kids. They're immature.
Right.
Their cars are getting.
No question.
The lifestyles they can live now, going out to wherever they want, eat wherever they want, spend as much money as they want, buy whatever they want. I'm surprised this isn't happening in more places, to be honest.
And I'm going to, if my son had the ability, if I had a son coming up, our grandson coming up and had the ability, the size to play in the SEC, and everybody wanted him, I would have him. I would say, you're going to Georgia. You're going to play for Kirby Smart. He's going to make you a man.
Yeah.
I've watched him practice, how he controls practice, how he runs the all-season weight program, how they do study hall. He gets after him every way you can. He's got players there for a reason. They want to win at Georgia. That's the number one thing. That is the culture of college football. You got to look at Ryan Day's record. It's unbelievable. If he doesn't win this year, he's in trouble. And his record's unbelievable. You're there to win. Kirby Smart's a great man, a great coach. And when we get back, let's finish this question. Is he more like a Nick Saban? Is he more like a Urban Meyers? I don't think Urban Meyers is as bad as people think either. We'll get back and talk about that when we get right back. Right now, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. Turf Pro Pest Control. You can listen to Patrick every Monday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You want your yard to look beautiful, call Pat. They'll come out, they'll look at it, they'll get your game plan up, and they will do it. They'll make sure it's executed. It will look absolutely gorgeous. Turf Pro Pest Control, number one. I want jewelry. Where am I going? Can I go see Russ?
You are going
Can I go see
very
Amber?
Smart man. And here's something that you didn't know. Russ has got his wife listening to the show. She heard it once just by accident, and according to Russ, his wife is hooked on the show. I forget her name, but want to say hi to her.
Well, I will tell you this. I bet you money.
Listener.
I bet you money she's beautiful because Russ is a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he's pretty smart.
Good-looking guy.
He's pretty smart, too.
Yeah.
But Russ and Amber out there at 8:30, Highway 77, David Adamson's Jewelry, a gazillion years of experience, whether you want to buy it or sell it or get it appraised for the insurance company or you want something custom built, that's the place to do it. And you can call him, too, at 624-1681. David Adamson Fine Jewelry and Design in Lynn Haven.
And with that, we'll say, we got another 30 minutes. We got 15 more minutes. My bad. Paparazzi Pizza. You love, I'll just pull your chain.
Yes.
Paparazzi Pizza. If you love pizza, where are you going? Paparazzi. Not only for the pizza, but how about the deli? How about the bakery? The Napoleon, the Paradise Cake, carrot cake, chocolate cake. They got it all right there. They got a bar now. Watch all the games down there. Have a pizza. Have a great time. That is Paparazzi. I love you, John. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Tyreek Hill, the players voted for the top 100 players in the NFL, and the players always love hyper-athleticism. Not only is it disrespectful to Patrick Mahomes, but it should also be noted that since Tyreek Hill left Mahomes, Patrick leads the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze at 16 miles per hour out of the west and temps near 95. Tonight we will have clear skies and be quite warm at 82. Sunny tomorrow and a high 92. Mostly sunshine throughout the day with a chance of thunderstorms in the evening Thursday with a temp of 94. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851 851-0453.
Hewitt Tire and Auto. Call 850-769-7323. Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com. On Airport Road in Panama City. 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
And we are back live, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The question is Kirby Smart more like Nick Saban or more like Urban Myers? I want to take up for Urban Myers. You don't win that many games if the kids don't respect you, the kids don't love you, they're not going to play for you.
By the way, there's no S on the end of Urban's last name.
Thank you, Jim Brandt. Quit, Randy, come here.
I trained him well.
Quit spending
Urban
money.
Meyer.
We're sending too many people to Atlanta. I want to raise. Quit spending money.
Let me tell you something. That was all done through the Braves organization because one thing, they love us and they realize we love the Braves.
That's awesome.
How about that?
There we go.
Thank you,
So that raise you were just talking about, out the window.
Forget it.
Anyway, Urban, I watched him when he ran that show they had him. Boy, he practiced him the way he ran him run, the way he worked, the discipline, all that. I loved that.
Yeah.
And seriously, you know what I'm talking about. He wouldn't have won that many games if the kids didn't respect him and love him. That would be a problem.
Right.
This game, again, I'm not saying it's right to go sign kids that have been brought up the wrong way, because you get them in there and you hope that you change their lives, and you got to win games. It's a fine edge there.
Sure.
And I don't dislike Urban Myers. I mean, I know you got. What's your take on him?
I don't dislike him. I just don't like him as much as I like Jim Tressel.
Right,
I mean, they're just, it's apples and oranges. It's two really successful people, but just with different personalities. You know, Urban Meyer, you watch him on the Big Ten. I don't know if you guys get the Big Ten. I have the Big Ten Network. You watch him diagram stuff. You watch him talk about football. Holy crap. He's like in another time zone.
Yeah.
Like he knows everything about football. It's like, oh my God, this guy's really good. And I know a lot of football, but I don't know half the stuff that he knows. It's like, he's very knowledgeable, but it's his way or the highway.
Yeah.
It just is.
Big ego.
He's got a big ego. That's just the way he is. I mean, doesn't make it wrong. It's just different.
I think there's a little bit of characteristics from both coaches that you can take away, and not necessarily negative. I mean, Urban Meyer, I know a lot of people like to throw, dirt on him and say, oh, he was a terrible person and this and that. He had a big ego, don't get me wrong. And there was things that rubbed me the wrong way, even at Ohio State. But the guy won, and he created a tough environment, and that's why they won. I mean, he could recruit better than anybody else in the country at that time. He went head-to-head with Nick Saban. He was the only guy that was really beating him in some recruiting battles and stuff like that. They beat him in a couple SEC championship game, won a national title, and then Nick just kind of took over. Urban just ran 100 miles per hour, 1,000 times a day, all gas, no brakes, and he just burned out everywhere he went. He could stay there maybe 3 to 5 years, but the way he ran a program, the winners, losers, it kind of caused a lot of friction within the program, and that just wasn't sustainable long term. So I think Kirby has a little bit more understanding of how to build a long term program. All the arrest stuff, that can't be controlled. We know this. I mean, you can't control 85 kids. You can deter what they're doing by some of the accountability and some of the punishments you hand out, but at the end of the day, these kids are going to do what they want. They're not kids. Let's be honest. They're adults with a lot of money now. So
I go back and I look at Florida when everybody jumped him when he started not winning like he was.
Right.
Like kind of like it is everywhere. But look at Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow loves him. Tim Tebow was a great leader, worked hard, did a great job in Florida. What was the difference in Tebow and that tight end, Hernandez? What was the difference? Why were they different?
Upbringing.
There you
parents.
Go. There you go.
And if you see what Urban Meyer did at Ohio State, some of the stuff kind of was fake at the end that the administration did to him, but they had like 9 arrests over 5 years. It's not like he was, just this rogue coach. I mean, they were
wasn't that more about the assistant coach and abusive stuff that went on.
That stuff which was completely fake too.
Which he had no control what the coach did at home with his wife.
And
that was made up.
He was tried in 2 different states, and the state's attorneys didn't have enough evidence to try him in either state. So 2 states let this guy off, but they decided Urban Meyer was a woman abuser enabler because he didn't suspend a guy that was never charged with anything. It made no sense at the time. That was the whole Me Too movement. It was all ESPN coordinated and kind of a hit piece on Urban, to be honest. And of course, our administration fell on it, suspended him 3 games, and then ironically, a year later, he walked away.
Right. Now, if you got a team with ability like a Tebow that's been brought up like Tebow's been brought up, you're in heaven.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you will not ever have a better situation.
Right.
These guys, these college coaches are hired to win, number one. You're going to lose your job. I don't care. You can have great character kids like that, the entire team, and you go 0-11, you're gone.
Right.
They can say, graduate your players, great citizens, all that. You get fired for having that if you don't win. That's just a fact.
That's reality. It is.
And Urban Meyer's biggest downfall at Ohio State, in my opinion, was hiring of coordinators. I mean, he gave the keys to the car to Warner and Beck when they could have won a national championship in 15. It was a total disaster. Hired, I think, what was it, Ash or one of the defense?
Chris Ash.
Grinch. I think it was Grinch first that he hired. Defense was terrible. That was the Iowa year where they gave up 50-some points. He just didn't make good hires, and he liked to hire people that he knew was more comfortable with instead of hiring the best guy, and I think that came back to bite him because he could have won multiple national championships at Ohio State, and it just didn't come through.
Yeah, I think Kirby's more like Nick.
I definitely do.
I think Nick and Urban got a lot of things in common. They demand everything perfect, and if you're not, they're going to jump your butt. But Saban's special though, man. I've never seen a guy that smart be that good at something. I mean, I'm talking about it for like football. Most, Coach Bryant was to me is like the biggest thing ever in my life. That was my hero. But Saban could talk and speak like you would not believe. He's highly intelligent.
But the common theme in all 3 of these guys is toughness. I mean, they created a tough environment.
Year round.
If you succeeded within those programs, you were going to succeed in life because they made it so tough to make it through winter conditioning, winter workouts, then spring, and then everything. If you made it to the field in them programs, you were a tough dude, and you could see it on the field in big games because those guys just didn't lose big games.
I tell you what, it brings me back to my coach, Coach Collins. He's dead now. We had a good staff there. We were 2-9 the first year. BYU beat us like 69-21. East Carolina, Pat Dye was the coach there. They beat us like 35-7. Alabama beat us. Just about everybody beat us, and they tried to run off everybody. Winter workouts was the greatest thing and the worst thing I went through in my life. I mean, guys were dreading going over there.
I bet.
And they abused us, but the ones that stayed, it was unbelievable. It's kind of like, not like it was the Junction, but Coach Bryant was kind of crazy. I mean, that was crazy what they did to the Junction boys.
Right.
But they saw those guys right there stayed friends their whole lives. They were all successful. They all made money. They were all good husbands and stuff like that. When you go through stuff like that, they teach you never to quit, never to give in, and never to give up, and to be loyal. That's what's the greatest thing about sports. I learned more at Southern Mississippi on the practice field than I ever learned in the classroom. Yeah. You can be successful in life when you learn from that. That's why sports is so great. I'll always fight for sports. It's the greatest thing out there. The last place we have any discipline right now is in sports.
Yep.
And they really watered it down. No 2-a-days. How many times you can practice a day, how many times you can be around your coaches. That's another thing. You can't be around your coaches that long anymore. You got so many hours you can meet with them.
And the transfers. If you're hard
on a kid. There's no dorms anymore.
But if you're hard on a kid, he can just leave. You know, that's another thing that hurts.
Jason, that's terrible. Jason, we'll talk more about this later. Talk more about a little bit Max Fit Sports Nutrition.
Yeah, we got the free sample bar. We got their InBody 570. We got certified sports nutritionists at both locations. We're on 23rd Street next to Taziki's and Black Sheep Armory, and we're in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods. If you want to give your son or daughter an edge, if they're in sports and about to come up on their season, just come in, try a couple of our free products on our free sample bar, and just talk to us and see what we can help them out with.
And just remember this, it's not what you say. People don't remember what you say. People remember what you do, the way you treat them.
Right.
Show kindness. Always be kind. I try to do that. I don't always do it, but I try to. But this bad-mouthing Kirby Smart and stuff like that, and reading some of these, and this is people in Georgia, writers in Georgia. They're wrong. He is a great man. He's a great father. My son or grandson would play for him, no doubt about that. It's just what we're dealing with.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Like I said earlier, I'm surprised it isn't happening more in other places right now.
When you hear about where you win, where you're losing, you don't hear
That's
about
where the
it.
spotlight is.
Yeah. You don't see Georgia players quitting during games.
No.
They might run over you, but they're not going to quit. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
What's your walk-up song, Jay?
It's got to be something AC/DC.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't. Any AC/DC. Or Chicken Head.
I think it's more Genuine.